I, personally decided to find out why things are wrong. I go to every year, I must spend time in school. That's why when people see my CV, they're wondering, you've not worked in any organization, you've not done anything. So how come you're an alumnus of Cambridge, Oxford, a Kellogg Scholar? I've done 3 programs in Harvard, Columbia, INSEAD, IMD, London School of Economics. I've been everywhere. So that year I was in Kellogg Graduate School. I was doing a program for 4 months, 2001. It was from June till about end of August. The dean and the dean of the school, Professor Donald Jacob, took us on a course called the World Economy. The World Economy.
The world economy.
In 90 days, he taught us. He never one day mentioned Africa.
Oh, wow.
Because he's taught a lot of people, that was his final year in that school. He started teaching in that school in 1957.
Wow.
And the final year was 2001. It was his final year. The day he ended with us. A day before his final year, the entire place was filled up. And I raised my hand and I said, Dean Jacob, you've not mentioned about Africa. He said, do I want to know about Africa? I said, yes. I paid $40,000 for this job, for this course. And you've not talked about my continent. He said, the next day being his final day, he will tell me. The next day, he finished and looked at me and said, Peter, you want to know about Africa? I said, yes. He said, there's nothing called African economy.
Hey!
Nobody plans with Africa. Have I ever seen African spec in car? There's the American spec, there's the Gulf spec, there's Asian spec,
German.
there's European spec, but there's no African spec. Can you give me a 5-year, 10-year, 20 years plan of your country that I can work on? I'm sorry. And of course, because it was a classroom, I just said, I think there should be. I think so, because I always have about 5-year rule. I said, there should be. I'll get it for you. He said he would like to say it, that I should join him for lunch. So I joined him for lunch, and we finished eating lunch. If you're in Kellogg Graduate School or today College School of Management, on the banks of Kellogg School of Management, is Lake Michigan. So you're on the lake, seaside, beautiful place. So we had lunch. After lunch, he said, let's take a walk by the lake. As we were walking, he asked me, do I have any of my country's currency? So I brought out, the highest denomination then was 100 naira. So I brought out 100 naira. He brought out $100. And he asked me a question. Which of these 2 currencies do you prefer? And I said the dollar. Because the dollar was then 100 naira to $1. So he said to me, you can keep the dollar. Because it was 10,000 naira. He said, keep it. I'll keep your currency. And we walked a little bit again. About a pole, he stopped and looked at me again. He said, I should bring out the dollar. I brought it out, and he asked me that question for the second time. And I answered exactly the same thing. And he said to me, let's sit down. Because there was a bench, by the sea. Let's sit down and feel the sea. So we sat down. And he held me. He said, young man, I've taught economics for 50-something years. The only reason you prefer another country's currency to your currency is what drives economy. Faith, the amount of faith you have in your country. Faith is driven by hope. There's no hope. So that's why. Otherwise, there's nothing. No country is perfect.
Yes.
It is that I have hope, and then it drives your faith in your country. Chinese people keep their money in Chinese yuan. They don't want the dollar.
Yes.
Malaysians in Malaysian ringgit. Singaporeans in Singaporean dollar. There was no euro then. Germans in German marks. Italians in their Italian lira. British people in pounds. And it went round and round. Because they have faith in their country. They don't want another country's currency. But you prefer another country's currency because they don't have faith. We've watched you in this course because it's an interactive course. And you've been very, very positive and everything. Can I ask you for a favor? And I said, yes, Dean Jacob. I went to visit him after when I was governor. He said to me, you have $1 million. I said, yes, of course. Do you have $5 million? I said, yes. Do you have $10 million? I said, yes. I have. He said, at that stage, you don't need money again because you have enough money to live for the rest of your life if you don't want. Forget about it. Yes, you're not worth